Rachel Nichols, joined by Coach David Fizdale, our insider Brian Windhorst, and time for us to play, really, it's America's favorite game, Something, Nothing, or Everything. Starting with the Warriors, who took down the Raptors. That's right, shout out Kevin Wiles, at home in a 1-point victory, despite Steph going 2 of 16 from the field. Worst shooting performance of his career, minimum 5 shots taken. So, Brian, the Warriors beating the Raptors, despite Steph going 2 for 16, Something, Nothing, or Everything.
This has got to be everything, because if you'd have told me 10 days ago that the Warriors could have won a game that Steph shot like this, much less have been within 10 or 15, I would have told you no way. They have improved so much over this last, this homestand, really. Andrew Wiggins has played so much better, and the return of Draymond Green made this possible, and great win. Got to take off your hat to them.
Yeah, this is everything, because Steph Curry built up their confidence with his play. He said, I can carry us to a certain point. Those guys felt good about their roles. And when Steph Curry couldn't get it done for him, he had put enough confidence in these guys that they stepped up and carried the torch for him and got it. This is a great victory for Golden State. And you can't forget, Draymond Green is a champion. Steve Kerr, Mike Brown, the rest of the staff are big-time coaches. They're going to win games like this because they have that kind of staff, and you can see it now. They're starting to make Andrew Wiggins a part of what they're doing and really highlighting his talents and putting him in a position to do well. And so this is an everything win for them. I'm happy for them. Hopefully they can keep it going.
This is where I get to pull out the Kendrick Perkins I told you voice on day 2 of the NBA season when I said, look what happened opening night. Don't bury the Warriors yet. I still believe
Can't bury them, no.
Right? So, I mean, look, we'll obviously see how the season goes, but this is why. Don't bury the Warriors. They have a lot going on that team.
Carry
that is
on.
Good. Exactly. Carry on, as our friend Kendrick would say. Next up, LaMelo Ball last night, although, again, I'm going to say it, throwback unis, happy. Kevin Durant scored 36 points in his return to the lineup after a 3-game absence due to the league's COVID protocols. Kyrie Irving, still out, missed the last 3 games due to undisclosed personal reasons, and Steve Nash had no update for the media on him today. So, Coach, what is your level of concern for the Nets after a 5-6 start?
I'm kind of torn on it, right? Like, I do have a lot of concern. I've always had the same concerns of health was always the big one. You know, Dinwiddie, 3 games he's only played. KD and Kyrie and now he's out.
Yep.
And KD and Kyrie 7 games apiece, and so that was always my big concern anyway about them. I remember when we brought the big 3 together, and we started off 9-8. And it was all kind of stuff in the air, right?
Did that get public attention?
It was a mess.
I remember.
Oh, yeah. Windhorst remembers. It was
daily breathless updates.
Oh, my goodness. You would have thought the world was coming to an end. But we won 22 out of 23 after that.
Yes, I do.
And this team has that kind of talent. Yes. And, you know, I'm just hoping for the best for Kyrie and that he gets back on the court fast because, again, all of us wants to see this team playing together and them exciting the league and showing what they can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coach, you're so right. I mean, health is going to define how this team goes, especially because Kyrie and Durant availability has been, in question. But to me, I still think their biggest thing they've got to wrestle with is defense. And I know that their defensive numbers don't look so bad, but, fundamentally, they are a suspect defensive team. The Oklahoma City Thunder, who are not a juggernaut, even though they have a better record than the Nets right now, had 66 points in the paint in this game. That is not allowable. You just can't do it. And, again, 129 points they give up. I know they've got a great offense, but especially when they don't have full power, when Kyrie is out, you can't go out there and get into a scoring match. And they have yet to prove on a night in and night out basis that they can defend at the level to be a championship team. And to me, that's going to be the story of the whole season.
And look, anybody who's been watching the NBA for 10 minutes knows there is a huge difference between what gives you good or acceptable numbers in the regular season versus what happens during the playoffs and when you get eaten up and spit out by your opponents. We saw a regular season versus playoffs issue with the Milwaukee Bucks this past season. We see it every year, and that is exactly what Brian is talking about. All right, Karl-Anthony Towns returned to the Wolves lineup Saturday. I want to give that some attention. He missed 6 straight games with a wrist injury. Obviously, an incredibly difficult season for him overall. He scored 25 points in his return. Now, he did sit out Sundays back-to-back as a precaution, according to the team. Brian, what impact do you think Cat's return has on the Wolves season going forward? Because they're not going anywhere without him, but even with him, what do you see?
Right. Yeah, I mean, they're already teetering with where their record is. And Carl Towns said that when he first saw the doctor with this wrist injury, which is a dislocated bone in his wrist. I can't say I've seen it or even heard about it very often. They told him he was looking at 6 to 8 weeks.
Ooh.
If he was out 6 weeks, I think the Timberwolves would have been done. And I mean, they are already, like I said, in a gray zone, at this point. So he's pushing it, coming back at 2 weeks. Now, he put up good numbers in his first game. He said he doesn't have great feeling in that hand, that he doesn't have, that hand is not really that functional. But if he can put up those numbers, he's given them a chance. And coming back now, it's a move. We'll see whether or not it pays off for them. But, he was supposed to be out a month longer.
Yeah, and I just think, one, he'll galvanize them. I mean, after everything that they've gone through, I think the team will rally around him. I think with him, they're a fringe playoff team, maybe. Like, they really got to play well. But without him, there's no chance. And it's like I said, it's tough in the West. So even with him, I think it's very difficult for them to get into the dance. But he is just a huge factor for them. I think his whole, purpose right now is to honor his mom, honor his family, play with great joy, find something every day to appreciate in her honor. And hopefully his team will rally around him and we could see some exciting basketball come out of Minnesota.
Yeah, it's still incredibly hard. He has talked about the fact that, look, I can't just lose myself in basketball. Some people can do that after a huge loss. He said, that's not it. He said, every time I step on the court, all I think about is my mom's not here. And I have such admiration for him going forward with everything that he and so many Americans have been through this past year, dealing with deaths due to coronavirus. And I think it is going to be tough for that team. It's such a shame because they high expectations. I know that they had, especially getting Kat and D'Lo together in the first place. They sort of mapped out what they wanted the next 2 to 3 years to look like. And this is certainly not happening right now. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Mavericks. Kristaps Porzingis expected to make his debut today, but that was before Mavericks-Pelicans was postponed. He has been recovering from meniscus surgery. Now, Fizz, the Mavs currently in the middle of the pack in the West with a 5-4 record. Does the return of a healthy unicorn put them in the upper echelon of the conference?
Absolutely. There's no question about this. First off, how good is Luka? Let's just put that out there. 5-4 in the West, no Kristaps.
Yep.
And Dallas has a good basketball team surrounding them. I don't want to just say it's like it's just them. But Kristaps Porzingis showed when he's on the team and when he's out there playing for them, you saw in the Clippers series, how big was that to have him out there?
Sure.
He was ejected, totally different deal. When he went out with the injury, totally different deal. If he was in that series, they might have had a chance to really win that series, and I'm not stretching on that. So him being that stretch set, that 7-footer, that defensive guy at the rim with Luka Doncic, definitely in the top of the pack in the West.
Yeah, are they a high-level team with Porzingis? Yes. Are they a championship contender? I still think they're a piece away, and I think they know that, which is why they've cleared out cap space and why they had dreams of Giannis, and why they may look in the trade market, whether it's during the season or in the summer. It doesn't have to be another all-star player, but I still think they need another high-level piece. Now, we still don't really know what the ceiling for Luka is. And Rick Carlisle has been a little bit disappointed with their level of focus early in the season. They can improve that, and they're better with Porzingis. I think they're dangerous, but I don't think they're where they need to be. And look, those two guys are young and signed to long-term contracts. They have runway. Let's see what they do.
And of course, this is another team where, again, their game was canceled. Sorry, not canceled. The game was postponed tonight. Having COVID issues affect the team can affect your record in a shortened season. Every game is one of 72, not one of 82. Maxi Kleber had been playing lights out for them, and now he is going to be off the board for a while. So that will also affect which echelon they end up in when we look at the final standings at the end of this regular season. All right, coming up, guys, LaMelo Ball became the youngest player in NBA history to record a triple-double this weekend.